Last thing I want to go over real quick is some helpful tips on how to maintain your iPads. There's a couple of frustrating things that you're going to want to know right off the bat. First of all, once you've installed your master profile, to remove that, you are going to have to remove Find My iPad, shut that off. In order to shut that feature off, one of the easiest ways I've found to do that is first deleting the profile. So all you have to do is take the profile here, this third grade profile, unclick it, and whatever you called yours. You're going to just unclick it, click apply. It will remove that from every iPad that you've worked on. After that, I'm going to do another video that shows you how to shut off Find My iPad, so please check out that video. That's going to be a separate video in this series where you can see how to turn off Find My iPad. When you've turned off Find My iPad, that will give you the option then, and you're going to have to go in manually and do that, but that will give you the option then to restore a new master. This is useful if you've had a configuration for a while and you're like, wow, we've downloaded a lot of apps and they're really unorganized. We'd like them in specific folders because we have some really strong educational apps that maybe we want grouped together in a way that when the kids go in there, every single child has them in that same folder. That would be a reason to go back and redo a master. And that's something you're not going to want to do a whole lot during the year. You don't need to reinstall a master every time you want to put on apps. That's only when you want to change so that everybody has the same desktop on their iPad. So that'd be the only time you really need to restore a master. But removing the profile is a way to do that. The other reason to remove the profile is when you want to add new apps. I found that it seems to be much easier when you unclick and remove the profile first, then click it to put it back on. If you go into the apps section, now you can add on any new apps. You can also use this as a time to remove apps that you no longer want. You can start unchecking. Let's say I don't want Dropbox anymore. I can uncheck that. I can hit the plus sign, go into my mobile applications, look for any new apps that I have. I'm going to use that Angry Birds example that I keep using. I'm going to select that one. That will plug that in. Now I can click the check mark and I can put that one on. When I go back to settings, any other changes that I might want to make, this is the time to do that. Updating the iOS, things like that. I'm going to click apply. If I have not turned off Find My iPad, I'm going to get an error message because it will not let me restore a backup. I can change this to do not restore backup because all I'm really changing is the profile. I want to keep the environment the same. I just want to add on the new app. So when I click do not restore my backup, check the profile, then click apply, what will happen is this will send this to my iPad. I will not get an error message. And when I look at the iPad and turn it on, I will have the new app on the screen. That new app will not be in folders unless I put it on previously in a folder. It will put it back on again. So if it was an app I removed, but I previously had it in the master copy in a folder, it will actually plug it back into that old folder. But if I never had it in a folder before, I can have my students manually put it into a folder that's already there. So if I'm installing something that's a social studies app, I can actually have them click on it and drop it into a folder, which is great. If you do that as a whole class, you can throw it up on the Apple TV in your classroom or throw it up on the projector if you've got a cable that connects to your projector and go through that step by step.